Nifty.Show.
If there were to be an NFT that represented me, it would be what we'd call my digital twin. That is, if owning that NFT were to mean ownership of me. And I guess in the future, having a driver's license as an NFT could mean that now we have the digital twin of the person that we are. This is the Nifty Show. I'm Joel Comm. I am the physical representation of myself. And today we're talking digital twins as we jump into a project that is on the Internet Computer chain. Got to keep an eye on this one. ICP gang. I think it's a sleeping giant. Both Sir Lord Travis Wright and myself are advisors to the Nifty Foundation, and we're watching for cool projects. And this one is cool because they have 4 different industry vehicles that they're using to bring this concept of digital twins to the marketplace. I've got Daniel Haudenschild, the CEO of ORIGYN Enterprises. Daniel, welcome to the Nifty Show, good sir.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
How did I tee that up? Did I do good?
Yeah, fantastic. For sure. It is a sleeping giant. I think that's the best way to describe it because, once you sort of look underneath the covers and you can see what's down there, very few people end up going back to what they were. So it's a powerhouse in the making.
Yeah, we've had folks from Dfinity on Bad Crypto podcast before, our digital twin sister show, I suppose you could say. And both Travis and I are working with the team, got some pretty exciting things coming. But you are working on a project called ORIGYN. It's spelled ORIGYN, the official website, origyn.ch, which is not China, right? That's isn't that Switzerland?
Yeah, CN is China, CH is Switzerland.
See, I think a lot of people automatically go, "Oh, .ch, it's a Chinese organization." No, couldn't be further from the truth.
We do a lot of work in China.
Sure.
Being Swiss has its being a Swiss foundation in particular has its benefits as well.
So Dan, can I call you Dan? Is that okay?
Sure.
All right, Dan, it is. The web, you can't really tell from the website at origyn.ch exactly what you do. I get the sense that, hey, there's art involved, but this actually goes pretty deep. So why don't you give us a high level bird's eye view of ORIGYN, and then we'll dig in a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I always kind of say that what we do is actually quite boring because we provide certificates. We're a certification company. We make certificates that guarantee authenticity and proof of ownership for items of value, and we do that so well that we can guarantee them worldwide. If we say it's authentic, turns out not to be, we pay.
This is important, though. This is wildly important, especially, when it comes to physical ownership. In the past, well, still in the present, we have certificates of authenticity. You buy a work of art, or you get a car and you get the deed to it. There's these certificates of authenticity attached to it, and you've got to keep that. Maybe tape it onto the back of the artwork or whatever. But now with NFTs, this becomes easier, more transparent, more secure, right?
Well, there's like 3 major technologies coming together. One is that the smartphone technology and the cameras that you can use on the smartphone, like iPhone 13 and Google Pixel 6, are so advanced now that you can get stabilized macro images to an extremely high degree of precision. The second is that we have a global internet computer, which is what Dfinity is built and what we're building on. And the third is that we have this sort of readiness to move into Web 3. So Web 1, information highway. Web 2, log on with Google. Web 3, log on with my wallet. And those 3 things coming together allow us to create digital twins of items of luxury, such as a Rolex watch. And then we take that and we put that entire image into the blockchain. And use that for validation and verification with the on-device cameras.
So we're talking about existing physical goods. I'm looking here on the website, Origin Luxury. You're talking about Rolexes. So I can bring a valuable watch to you or any other luxury item, and I could say, hey, I want to put this on blockchain. I want a digital proof of authenticity. Is that how it works?
Kind of. In the future, I mean, you already get papers with your watch when you purchase any item, luxury
Right.
item, and but you get like physical papers or a plastic card, and we've seen stacks of these that have kind of are watchless authentication certificates and vice versa. And kind of a middle ground in the past was to have a QR code printed on a piece of plastic, which would also represent your watch or your luxury or handbag or whatever. And in this case, we've eliminated the need for QR codes or any type of tracking on the physical object, just based on the sort of microstructure traceability of the object itself. Um,
Okay, so but you're issuing the NFTs, is that correct? Like you say, it's not the sexy, it's behind the scenes technology that's going to work. But where do the NFTs actually come from?
Well, so we work with an ecosystem of partners like Watchbox and UEFA and others who are authorized to mint because they're staked, invested in as a node in the ecosystem, and they tell us it's authentic, and we certify that authenticism, and that's where the certificate comes from. So. The node's stake in the ecosystem creates, the believability that they say it's authentic, and those are limited to an absolute number. And then we issue the certificate on top of that. So we lift all the blockchain stuff away from sort of the luxury goods industries that have other things to worry about.
So they're the client. They're the one that comes to you then. These
Yeah, or
orders.
we go to them. It's a bit of a mix, but absolutely yes. So we work with all the top brands like the watch manufacturers themselves, but we also work in the CPO market, so certified pre-owned, because most of the time watches are created in a limited number per year, and then you can't get the hold of the watch that you want on the primary market. You have to go to the secondary market. So we work with retail, CPO, and the main market.
Got it. It says on here that you use biometric data too. How does that connect to NFTs?
Well, I've never really liked that word because it was used because it's easy to explain. So it's like facial recognition for watches is
Mhm.
what we like to say, but there's no bio inside the watch. But it does use each watch. Each of these luxury items is hand finished, and most have hand finished steps. And watchmakers understand where to look for where uniqueness shows up within those objects, and it's those things that are small details that we can pick up on that define a watch's uniqueness, regardless of if we can see the serial number or not. So.
I'm curious, do you have a background in blockchain and technology, or is your background in fine art and collectibles, or is it a perfect mashup of the two?
Yeah, we're the biggest project on Definity, and we share the joy of having a co-founder, Jan Boschler, who's also co-founder of Definity, alongside Dominic Williams, and that's really fantastic. So we have one co-founder that's coming straight from serial entrepreneurism in the blockchain space. We have another co-founder that's coming from 25 years in the luxury goods and watch industry. His name is Vincent Perriard, and he works from he was chief marketing officer at Murphy Gay and so forth. And the third co-founder is Mike Schwartz, who used to be Boston Consulting's head of digital ventures.
Oh,
So
somebody wants a piece of you. They're like,
yeah,
I need my
it does
digital
that a
twin,
lot.
Daniel. Get on the line.
Yeah, no, they're always trying to talk to me, but no, actually, it's so we have these wonderful, we have really strong, co-founders. I'm the CEO of Origin Enterprise, so the co-founders in their wisdom, they created the foundation, mirroring the Rolex Foundation, and then create, and it's non for profit, issued a bunch of tokens in Token Genesis last November. And now we have Origin Enterprise, which is what I run, whose mission it is to get as many of these certificates out there as possible. And by doing so, well, hopefully we will. There's a financial proposition. We are for profit, but we give our profits back to the foundation. And if there's too many profits, then the foundation takes those and burns them. So we have a deflationary token model ultimately.
That's the OGY token.
Correct. Yeah. And what you do with that token is you essentially buy the certificate's lifespan. So that might be for 100 years if you're buying an Audemars Piguet, or it might be for a weekend if you're attending, a soccer aid event in the UK.
Interesting. So you guys can go to origin.ch and read more about this. With internet computer being such a fabulous decentralized solution. In fact, when I look at other blockchains, right, apart from Bitcoin that people can build on, I don't think that there is a more decentralized platform than internet computer, is there?
We couldn't do what we do without it, and because of the scalability that it provides. It's really kind of like decentralized cloud computing. We often speak of trying to get some of the things that we do out of some of the other chains is like trying to get Netflix out of a fax machine. It's very, very difficult, and you might get some rapidly moving images in dot matrix, but it's just not the same thing as what we're able to do. I mean, we have we have some stuff in our digital media vertical where it goes about scarcity in virtual worlds. Like, so the right to have, how many epic gloves are there out there, how many dance moves, and to be able to curtail the scarcity in sort of the metaverse, and we can stream 4K video from on-chain resources, which is insane if you think about it.
What do you think it's going to take? Because there's a lot of building happening on ICP right now. But what do you think it's going to take to move the needle from this this small group, relatively small compared to like Ethereum, small group of developers that are building incredible things to a mainstream, awakening for even blockchain people?
Happens quite quickly. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I didn't answer your previous question fully. I used to be a partner at Ernst and Young. I started as a junior consultant, and I spent my entire life, or sort of traveling the earth, working for global financial services. I came into Switzerland or back to Switzerland in 2014 as a partner, and then I fell down the crypto rabbit hole, and I kind of never looked back. So I've been working professionally in Bitcoin and crypto since 2014, as a founder and as a CEO of different companies. But just kind of, I have it in my closet. I cleaned out my closet a couple of days ago, and I saw all my email, all my business cards of all that time, and I still have fax numbers on business cards. I mean, like, first of all, business cards are really strange, but you still have fax numbers. I always thought it'd be kind of a neat marketing gag to just kind of get the fax numbers of all these CEOs and then send them a fax. This is urgent, urgent, just to see what would happen. But they're connected somewhere. I haven't seen a fax machine in like 10 years, but you still have a business card that requires you to have it. So I think these changes are going to happen quite quickly. I think you can try to tinker around the fax machine and try to get it to do Netflix, or you could just move to streaming media. And I think it's quite interesting. I mean, you see Blockbuster as business case, and you see these step changes of technology just kind of pulling the rug out from under companies, and reestablishing a new paradigm. And I think that's where we're going to be with Definity. So it's a when, not an if.
You must be on a chair with rollers because you have what we call camera drift. You're moving over towards the side. If you can center
Yep.
yourself, there you go.
Sending
Then
myself.
we can.
There we go.
Otherwise, we just get half the man. It's funny you mentioned Blockbuster. I'm actually in a Discord group for Blockbuster DAO. They are trying to bring back Blockbuster and get the IP from, I think, Dish. I think Dish Network might own it right now. Wouldn't that be amazing if we could be kind and rewind all over again and spend our evening at the store looking for what we're going to watch instead of actually watching something?
Yeah, I mean, there is a nostalgia element to it. I think when me and my friends were kind of, we the Blockbuster was where everybody would go, in on the sort of Thursday or Friday nights. But then
And you
we've been
spend your
having,
time walking around, like, you want this? Nah, seen it? Nah, then looking at stuff, and then picking up some M&Ms on the way out, and maybe having a movie.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was a whole kind of procurement aspect to it,
There it
which
is.
is gone now.
Well, hey, I really appreciate you coming on. And those of you that want to dive deeper, go to Origyn, ORIGYN.ch. Links in the show notes to the various social media platforms. And these guys are definitely pioneering the way. And thanks for coming on today and sharing with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a great call.
There you go. Maybe you guys can go out there and find your own digital twin. I'm going to find me a digital Travis twin. Not sure what I'm going to do with it when I have it, but if I was going to do one thing, I would probably keep it nifty.
Looking into the future, what do we see? It's lined with digital collectibles, we call them NFTs. Games, trading cards, digital art, and those crypto kitties. Joel and Zach are the hosts, you'll know. Joel and Zach say this will blow. They're locked and loaded, so ready, set, go! It's the Nifty, really kind of spiffy. The Nifty Show.